There are pretty much endless items in Terraria, and more added each update, and a good chunk of them happens to be accessories. Now you can have any combination of these accessories depending on your playstyle. Want increased movement speed? Get some boots and an aglet. Want more summons? Grab the Papyrus Scarab. Hell, if you want to jump to the moon, there's even accessories for that. But there is one build that I don't see many videos about, and it's no question why. There's no flight, no extra mana, no extra defense, nothing. But what it lacks in, well, pretty much everything, it makes up for in literally you as a player not needing to attack. If you don't know what build I'm talking about, it's the, well, I actually don't think there's a name for it, but I'm going to call it the auto build. It centers around the 4 attacking accessories that deal damage to enemies without player input. Well, technically one of the accessories requires you to attack, but I'll talk about that later. The 4 accessories in question are the Bone Glove, Bone Helm, Volatile Gelatin, and the Spore Sack. In this video, I'll be taking down a few bosses to see how viable the build is, and after, I'll discuss the pros and cons. So let's start with the bosses. Okay guys, and real quick, I do want to mention that the Bone Glove, it doesn't attack automatically like the rest of the weapons. You do have to attack first, and then it sends the bone out. So I am going to be using the Copper Short Sword for the demonstration of the bosses, just so we get the actual damage on it. Starting with the Eye of Cthulhu. And this is all in expert mode, by the way. So let's see how quickly this does. I mean, it's actually not bad. For just accessories, it is not bad at all. I assume the Spore Sack is doing the majority of the damage, though. Because it is a post-Plantera drop, unless it drops from Plantera. Okay, let's see how much it's doing on here. I mean, it's already 1,000 damage, or sorry, 1,000 health gone. Let's see if the Spore Sack, it is doing a majority of the damage, so I'm not even going to hide the fact that it is. It's doing a lot. I wish I could see exactly, it looks like the Volatile Gelatin, looks like it's doing around 50 to 60 damage every time it hits. It's not bad by all means. I guess it could be better, but I mean, it's not bad for just an actual accessory. Well, I mean, I was going to say, it looks like the Spore Sack isn't doing as much, but it does have a lot more health, but I guess that is a warning sign to come for the mechanical bosses that I'm going to be doing. I mean, it's really not that bad. When you really, I mean, it's doing around 600 damage per second. That is not terrible. Again, for just accessories, that is not bad at all. But yeah, let me go to hell so we can do the Wall of Flesh next. Okay, let's see how much. 11, around the same amount of health as the Deer Clop, so I assume it's probably going to go down around the same amount of time. I mean, yeah, it's not bad, again. It's not the worst thing in the world. I mean, the build is kind of weird. I'm not even going to lie. You know, you would be doing more damage if you had an actual weapon. You know, that's not the Copper Short Sword. I mean, it's not terrible, again. It's just kind of awkward. Because I'm not really sure why you would choose this build over really anything else. But yeah, let me get to the hard mode bosses. Okay, and we're going to be starting with the twins. It's going to be kind of hard to see how well this one does, just because they do kind of get away from you in the Spore Sack. Well, I was going to say the Spore Sack doesn't really do that much since they're away, but whenever they get close, that's actually not bad damage at all. It's only been a little bit, and it's maybe around 1/6 of the way dead already. If you do, I mean, the Skeletron accessory is hitting them for around 20 damage, it looks like. Again, it's not bad by all means. And I was doing some testing earlier to see if the Shark Tooth necklace impacted the damage at all. From what I tell, I couldn't really see anything. I think it does just the same. But yeah, I mean, it is taking a bit longer for these guys to go down, just because they do kind of stay away from you. But I mean, it is taking it down actually fairly quickly. I have time paused on here, but I assume it's maybe been a minute and a half, and they are honestly almost dead, so it's actually pretty impressive. There's still not really a reason that you'd choose kind of this build over, you know, a mage build or a summon build. But it is interesting, and I am kind of eager to see how it stacks up against like the Moon Lord or something, because I mean, I have not tested it yet, but I am going to be honest, I don't think it's going to be able to defeat it. But yeah, let me kill this one real quick. Okay, and just about dead. Yeah, I mean, that wasn't bad. I'm not even going to lie. It wasn't terrible. But yeah, let me sort that. Okay, let's get to the Skeletron Prime. I mean, this one's probably going to be the same thing, just because it is further away. But let's see how it does. Because, I mean, the Spore Sac, it is a large majority of it. I'm not even going to lie. Like, if it goes like this... what if I get in the air? I mean, yeah, it's a lot slower right now. Because the Spore Sac looks like they're getting stuck in the ground a little bit. Let me go up a bit. Does the Spore Sac... Does it only go on the ground? Because it looks like there's definitely a lot less spores. What if I go on the ground? Kind of embarrassing that I didn't notice that. The spores are actually more common on the ground. So that, I guess that is something if you're planning on running this build. But I mean, it's not doing a whole lot. They're only doing like 50 damage a hit. But yeah, this, I mean, it's only down 12,000 health. That's a lot slower than the twins. So this, I think this is I mean, obviously I'm going to kill it, but I am going to call this a half and half unsuccessful successful test. Because it is, I mean, it is doing damage. It's going to kill eventually. But there's no... I don't know. I don't know how to feel about this. Because the accessories are cool, especially the Spore Sac. But it is not really... I don't know how to word this. It's not good. Yeah, it's strange. Especially in the air. I'm not seeing them spawn as much. And that's, I feel like, a majority of when... Or sorry, of where you're going to fight the Skeletron Prime. But yeah, let's just skip on to the next boss, which is the Golem. Okay, let's see how this one does. He is taking a lot less damage. That is very drastic compared to the mechanical bosses. It's certainly taking it down slowly but surely. I wish the spores were faster. That's what I'm going to say about this. It's not... Because, like, they spawn and they just take a bit to actually head to the target, so it's kind of a weird item. I know they're expert mode items and, you know, they're just kind of gimmicky. But, I mean, you look at the Worm Scarf or the Shield of Cthulhu or the Brain of Cthulhu. It's so much better than these items. It's just, like, I want to justify using these items because they are cool. But it's, like I said, you know, but like I said earlier, I tried the Shark Tooth Necklace. I couldn't see a noticeable increase in damage because it does vary randomly. Like, I mean, obviously, you could be doing more damage, like, if you had a weapon around this boss anyway. Something like the, let's say something like the Flamethrower. Like, yeah, you could be doing more damage, but again, you wouldn't have any normal accessories, you know, with equipped. Like, you wouldn't... I guess you could have the wings, but you wouldn't have anything like the Avenger emblem, or if you're a Ranger, the Magic Quiver, or if you're Mage, the Mana Cloak. And it's just, I can't, as much as I want to justify using these accessories, I can't. But yeah, I'm kind of eager to see how it fares against the Moonlord. Again, like the Golem, I don't think it's actually going to do really good. Because the spores, the Spore Sac is what deals the majority of the damage, and if they're too far away, I don't think they home in. And, you know, since the Moonlord, it's kind of spread out, I don't think it's going to do a whole lot. I mean, I guess we'll see how it goes. I mean, like, yeah, I don't even see the spores. I mean, I guess they do kind of chase it eventually, but when the hands get far enough away, they don't home in anymore. I mean, it's done around 3,000 damage to one of the eyes so far, and that is because I'm attacking straight up with the bones. It looks like there's some just lingering around the eye. And again, like that, I just dodged the laser by flying off the ground, which the spores spawn on the ground. So it's... As much as I think I already said this, but as much as I want to justify using these items, especially the Spore Sac, because I really think it's pretty cool, especially later in the game, like around where you get it, I don't think it's good. Especially in the bosses after, like Golem and the Moonlord here, it is not doing a lot of damage. I mean, if you look at this, the straight number, I guess it is, it's already done 27,000 already. But I mean, if you're in a real survival world, let me try something real quick. And I'm just gonna turn on, what's a good defense item? And I guess I'll equip the Paladin Shield as well, just for some defense. I'm gonna turn off my God mode and see how this actually fares in a real fight. I mean, it's... I still don't think you're gonna be able to do it, because I'm not doing nearly as much damage as I otherwise would be normally. Like, let's say you had, I don't know, the last prism. You know, you shred with it. But I guess if you had an actual weapon that did good damage around this state of the game, I guess you really could do some damage with it. I feel like I'm trying to justify using it, but in reality, they're not very good. So now that we all saw how the bosses fared against them, let's talk pros and cons. Some pros are that you really don't need to do anything. You can just focus on dodging and learning the boss attacks. You also don't need to worry about collecting materials and other items for weapons. And did I mention saving loads of platinum coins, since you really don't need to reforge anything? And now the cons, and I'll be honest, there's a lot. You do very limited damage. You can only really control where the bone glove fires, which itself isn't very strong, while the rest of the items seemingly attack at random. And going back to one of the pros, you can focus on dodging, yeah, you can, but there's no reason to use this build rather than just a summoner setup. And the last con I'll talk about is that it's just not very fun to play. I won't lie, before testing it, I thought it looked fun and powerful, but after testing it, I unfortunately found out that it's boring and weak. It really sucks too, because I think this build could have been something great. Hey guys, hope you enjoyed the video. This was certainly an interesting setup to use, and it's pretty clear why no one uses it. I definitely never swap these accessories, so it's no surprise no one else has either. But if you did enjoy it, please let me know down below. And if you aren't subscribed, why not zap that sub button? And if you already are, make sure to zap that bell as well. I post new videos every Monday through Friday. Again, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Peace.